Muni. So it is nicely explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura explained in his Anuvad. He said that Kardamuni is worshipping the Supreme Lord in Dasya Bhava, whereas now Lord Kapila appeared as son. So if he exhibits Vatsyal Rasa, it will become Rasabhas. So he doesn't want to change his Rasa with the Supreme Lord. So he went to the forest to meditate in the Dasya Bhava only. That's why he requested permission to go to the forest from Lord Kapila Deva. If he himself feels that he is the father of the Supreme Lord, he doesn't need to request. He can order. He can just inform and go. He doesn't need to take permission or request. So now Kardamuni left to the forest, and this verse goes like that. Vratam sa astito maunam atmaika sharano munihi nissango vyacharachyonim anagniraniketanaha. Vratam sa astito maunam Atmaika Sharano Munihi Nissango Vyacharachoni Anagniraniketanaha. Vratam Sastito Maunam Atmaika Sharano Munihi Nissango Vyacharachoni Anagniraniketanaha. Aniketanaha. Word to word translation. Just a second. Vratam, wo, sa, he, Kardama, astitaha, accepted, maunam, silence, atma, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, eka, exclusively, sharanaha, being sheltered, munihi, the says, nissangaha, without association, vyacharat, he traveled, Kshoni, the earth, Anagnihi, without fire, Aniketanaha, without shelter. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The says Kardama accepted silence as a vow in order to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take shelter of Him exclusively. Without association, he traveled over the surface of the globe as a sannyasi, devoid of any relationship with fire or shelter. Purport. Here the words Anagnir, Aniketanaha are very significant. A sannyasi should be completely detached from fire and any residential quarters. A Gruhastha has a relationship with fire either for offering sacrifices or for cooking. But a sannyasi is freed from these two responsibilities. He does not have to cook or offer fire for sacrifice because he is always engaged in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he has already accomplished all ritualistic performances of religion. Aniketanaha means without lodging. He should not have his own house, but should depend completely on the Supreme Lord for his food and lodging. He should travel. Mauna means silence. Unless one becomes silent, he cannot think completely about the pastimes and activities of the Lord. It is not that because one is a fool and cannot speak nicely, he therefore takes the vow of Mauna. Rather, one becomes silent so that people will not disturb him. It is said by Chanakya Pandita that a rascal appears very intelligent as long as he does not speak. But speaking is the test. The so-called silence of a silent impersonalist Swami indicates that he has nothing to say. He simply wants to beg. But the silence adopted by Kardamuni was not like that. He became silent for relief from nonsensical talk. One is called a Muni when he remains grave and does not talk nonsense. Maharaj Ambarisha set a very good example. Whenever he spoke about the pastimes of the Lord. Mauna necessitates refraining from nonsensical talking and engaging the talking facility in the pastimes of the Lord. In that way, one can chant and hear about the Lord in order to perfect his life. Vratam means that one should take a vow as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Amanitvam adambhitvam, without hankering for personal respect and without being proud of one's material position. Ahimsa means not being violent. There are 18 processes for attaining knowledge and perfection, and by his vow, Karta Muni adopted all the principles of self-realization. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharini Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Mandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahakana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, today we'll be focusing on two aspects: how the sannyasi leads his life and how he performs austerity. Okay, so here Karda Muni took sannyasa. So sannyasa can be taken after Gruhastha life and Vanaprastha life, and also from Naistik Brahmachari, Upakaranya Brahmachari. Naistik Brahmachari means from birth he can be Brahmachari, and Naistik Brahmachari later he can become sannyasi. Okay. And when Upakaranya Brahmachari, later he can accept the Grihasthashrama and then he can go through the retired and then he can take the sannyasa. Those are called as Goswamis. So if directly Naistik Brahmacharis, they'll be called as Swamis. And if they enter the Grihasthashrama, Vanaprastha and then sannyasa, they are called as Goswamis. Okay, whoever the sannyasis should not be involved in Agni and Aniketanaha, means they should not be attached with the fire. They should be detached from the fire, and also they should not have their own house. So, if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyasa, he never cooked and he never stayed. He never had his own house. He was going to different places, even 24 years when he was traveling. And in that, after taking sannyasa, he was on this planet for 24 years. And most of the time he was traveling in South India only. So every day he used to stay in one different house of a Gruhastha. So like that, he was giving, he was showing mercy on so many Grihasthas. So one may ask the question, why Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the Western country, we saw him cooking himself. He was having his own carriage and he was cooking. Yes, any rule, Prabhupada, we have seen like this, many people, mundanely, they will argue like that he is breaking the rules and regulations of a sannyasa. No, he was taking as more than his own personal comfort. He wants to show compassion on, and he wants to execute his guru's instruction. even at the risk of over coming all these rules and regulations, and at the risk of anything, he followed the instruction of the spiritual master, and he was showing the extreme compassion. See, when he was cooking also, he was not cooking for his personal sake. He was distributing that prasada to the people who, wherever he is staying. When he was staying in Gopal Agarwal's house, he was cooking and serving prasadam to Sally Agarwal and Gopal Agarwal. They liked the prasadam so much. So they are so fortunate and they could eat the prasadam made by Srila Prabhupada. So like that, he was showing compassion. And a sannyasi is supposed to not to cross the ocean, cross the sea bodies, but he doesn't care, because more than he, even though he doesn't care if someone says that if you break the rules you'll go to hell, even at the sake of at the risk of going to hell, he wants to preach. So preaching is the highest priority for a sannyasi, not for following the regulations for their selfishness. So like that, he should a sannyasi should not involve in the marriage ceremonies, but he wants to make a healthy grihastha environment without any illicit relations. So at the risk of breaking the rules, he participated in all the, he personally celebrated their marriage ceremonies. So these are all, but we should not imitate. If anyone in future, if anyone wants to take sannyasa, they should follow the rules unless until they are totally engaged in preaching. And even the Lord and Lord devotees, they are ready to break their promises for their devotees' sake. We saw in Bhagavad Gita at the time of Kurukshetra war in Mahabharata, we saw how Krishna broke his own promise to rescue Arjuna from the scorched arrows of Bhishma Pitamaha. So he was willing to break his own promise that he doesn't touch any weapon, but instead he raised the wheel of the chariot to kill Bhishma Pitamaha. So they don't care of their promises when it comes to their devotees. So that is one point. And again, next one is these sages, they always follow the austerity of speech. Means they maintain silence. Silence means sometimes we see in the mundane world on some tithis, they follow mauna. They say that it is a vrata. So by following that breath, we will go to the heavenly planets. We will be peaceful. So real meaning of silence is explained nicely by Srila Prabhupada in this purport. Not talking nonsense is called mauna. Even if we are not talking externally, superficially, but if mind is, they what in the material world, how they follow the Mauna Vrata means they will talk everything, but without just opening the mouth. Means they will write on the paper, they will say, means their mind is not calm. Their mind is always active, wants to say something, wants to convey something, wants to guide others. So it is always too much active. They will write and they will show all the signs. So it's not the real Mauna. Mauna means some Srila Prabhupada, every minute he followed Mauna Vrata. Mauna Vrata means it's not like staying calm, but talking only Krishna Kada. Talking only about Krishna. So that is called the real Mauna. So Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas, they are always following this Mauna Vrata. In the same way, Kardam Muni here, he followed the Mauna Vrata, not in the mundane way. In the mental state also, he was very calm, peaceful. So in the Bhagavad Gita, this austerity of speech is nicely mentioned. Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. It is very nicely mentioned when you see Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, 15 slokas. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam jiyat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapauchyate. So there Krishna is saying that when a a devotee wants to speak, he will speak in such a way that it is very sweet to hear, and it will be always truthful, no lies, no cheating, and he will talk so pleasingly, and he will talk in such a way the words are so beneficial for the others, and it will not agitate others mind, and it will be very nice to hear, and they will talk only according to the Vedic literatures, not on their own. So that one, that is called the real austerity of speech. So one should be able to control one's speech. This is very, very important. In Upadeshamrita also, Srila Rupa Goswami, in the whole book, it is though it has only 11 verses, every word of each verse is worth discussing of millions of days. So that Upadeshamrita, in the first verse, the first word it is talking about Vacho Vegam. So we have lot of urges, because the mind urges, genital urges, tummy urges, all sense urges. So among all these urges, the first priority, highest priority is given to the words, to the urge to speak. Everyone wants to speak something, everyone wants to say something. So there is nothing wrong, but we should make sure that we are talking about Krishna, and we are not, we have to follow the above all concerns, all criteria. So Anudvega Karam Vakyam, I said, right? So whatever we are speaking, first of all, it should be truthful. It should be according to the scriptures, not our own mundane, and it should be pleasing for others to listen, and it should be hitam chayat, it is for others benefit, and it should not agitate others. These 5 criteria, whether they are met or not, we should think for a while, and we should open our mouth. In this purport it is mentioned, right? A somebody will be very nice, devotees looking like devotees, everything is good, but even in the outside world they pose themselves, or they are very learned, very experienced. But when we will come to know the real nature, when they start speaking, when they open their mouth, we'll come to know the reality. So in the same way, why should we be fools? Unnecessarily blabbering, something. So we should not be like frogs, inviting the snakes to eat us. So what in the pond, frog knows that. So if I scream too much, the snakes will know that I am here and they'll come and eat. But still they will croak like anything. So even though, so even many people, even we sometimes, we know that if we talk unnecessarily, we will get into trouble. But we cannot control the urge to speak. But Srila Rupa Goswami is warning us. So this is the topmost. We should always follow this austerity of speech. And other Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. So even the mind urges, anger, everything is coming later. Srila Rupa Goswami is given the later priority. First, all the problems are coming when we cannot control this urge to speak. So why? Because if someone says that we are very calm, like a peaceful pond, if someone comes and throws just for time pass, if they come and throw a stone, that's it. Lot of ripples. Even we want to see the clear pond, we cannot see anything clearly. So our mind is also like that. We are very calm and peaceful. But if some fellow comes and says some word, that's it. Our mind is agitating so much, we cannot control. So everything begins with this, all the problems, all the relations, many relations are broken, many positions in the offices are broken, or laid off, or anything. respect, everything starts from this urge to speak. So when we are able to think for a while before we open our mouth, all these five aspects, what are those? Whether we are talking truth, whether we are talking according to the Vedic literatures, whether our words are pleasing, even it is harsh, even it is a bitter one for the others to digest, we should talk in such a pleasing way. We should not. So if you see from the past times of Lord Chaitanya or from the past times of Lord Ramchandra, Lord Sri Krishna, they talk so pleasingly. For example, recently we visited New Vrindavan Dham. There we heard one pastime of Srila Prabhupada. There, one devotee, he is a very nice person. He became a nice devotee. Initially, he was a hippie, and later he became a nice devotee. But due to some disturbances, he left the movement. And again, he went back to his old lifestyle. He became a hippie. He started taking the drugs. He became like uh, so much drug addicted. And then, after so many days, he came to know that Srila Prabhupada has come to the place where he was staying. So then he visited, he wanted to see Srila Prabhupada. So, but the devotees, the assistants of Srila Prabhupada, personal secretaries, they did not allow him. In fact, they did not recognize him also. So, but he did not care. He desperately wants to see Srila Prabhupada. He pushed them away and went and offered obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada immediately asked, "Are you ready to cook for me again?" Everyone was so amazed. He was cooking. He became a nice devotee in such a way that he was a devotee of who could cook for Srila Prabhupada. And now Srila Prabhupada, when he said that hippie who became a hippie now, he profusely crying, and he offered obeisances. See, if you see Srila Prabhupada also could not send him away. You fell down from his, you broke your regulative principles. Yeah, you cheated me. Nothing. He was talking so pleasingly. Why? Because he was looking for the benefit of the devotee. He wants to give him another chance to become a devotee, to realize himself. So a pure devotee always like that. Even though he wants to say something bitter, but he will transform them by their pleasing words. Even Krishna's 64 qualities, one of the quality is pleasing way. He talks in a very pleasing way. He never talks. Even to Kamsa also, he never talks. And if you see Lord Ramchandra past time, he has given many chances. Even before killing him also, he requested Ravana, if you want, you can even now stop this war. You can stop your own death. Please listen to me. So he was talking in such a pleasing way. Even Vibhishana, he was talking a very pleasing way to Ravana. So, but the demonic mentality is they don't care. They don't care for the well-wisher, words of a well-wisher. So they will invite their own death. That is the problem. We should not be like that. We should follow this austerity of speech. It is very, very important. So when we control our speaking power, everything will be it will attract many devotees with our pleasing words. So always Srila Prabhupada recommends that to perform this austerity, the easiest way is Yare Daiko Tare Kaho Krishna Upades. Whomever you see, whomever you meet, ask them to chant Hare Krishna. So simple, right? No worries, nothing. When one recently we have our own personal experience. Okay, I'll tell later. But one time, at the time of Srila Prabhupada, the one devotee, he took to the heart, okay, I have to control my other speech. So in India, he was telling everyone to say to chant about Krishna. He wants to talk about Krishna Katha. So, but he is a Westerner. In India, when he was trying to preach about Krishna, everyone is saying, you are a Westerner. Just now you came to know about Krishna, but we know Krishna from the childhood. You don't, who are you to tell about our Krishna to us? So nobody is listening to him. Nobody is paying attention to his words. He was very much morose and very innocently he went and expressed, see Srila Prabhupada, you are saying that Yare Deko Tare Kaho Krishna Upades. I am trying to tell about Krishna to everyone whomever I meet, but they are saying that we know about Krishna. You don't need to say like that. They are not even paying attention. Then Prabhupada felt so nice. He was very much pleased with his innocence, with his sincere endeavors. Then Prabhupada said some golden words. Every one of us should pay attention. He said that it is not what you are getting, Krishna will say. It is the effort that you are putting to please him. That only Krishna will say. So don't expect anything. Just carry on whatever you are doing. Even though they don't pay attention, it is for your purification and it will definitely please me and Krishna. So please go ahead. So we should always be like that. In our Bhakti Riksha, there is one couple. See the advantage of this chanting always like this. So one time that Mataji is very much angry about that problem. So he was about to blast him for the thing what he has done. Immediately, the minute when Mataji is about to give him a big lecture, immediately he said that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then she immediately, for his spontaneity, she immediately laughed and it's not fair. You should let me scold you because you have done such a stupid way. It's not fair. She is saying, no. Prabhuji said that we should be calm and peaceful. We should not have anger. So there are so many advantages like this when we have this, when we follow this austerity of speech. Not only we will control our emotions and we will keep ourselves peaceful, and we can make others also peaceful. You can really try this. If someone is in an angry mood, agitating mood, irritating mood, immediately if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if we ourselves also, if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is the fastest way to keep our mind calm and peaceful, so that we will forgive and will forget whatever happens. And in that way, a peaceful atmosphere for us, it is so health wise also, it is very good. So we can live longer if we stay peaceful, okay, for a longer time. So like this, if we follow this austerity of speech, there are so many advantages. With this, I will conclude the session, today's session. Handing over to Madhupad Prabhuji or any other.
That one, Pranam Mataji. You have said the word, I'm a new student, so you said the word Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Can you repeat slowly so I can catch up that verse?
Yare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna upades.
Yare dekho,
tare kaho,
tare
kaho, Krishna upades.
Krishna
Upadesh.
Okay, got it. Because you speak so fast, I did not catch up completely. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say this, Yare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna upades. Whomever you see, immediately you say about Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mataji. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. A day before the most important day of Krishna Janmashtami. Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai.
Yeah.
Today evening, there will be lots of services at the temple, and from 8:30 to 9 there will be Sen Adivash. Different articles will be offered to the Supreme Lord, which will be used in their services over the years. So you all are welcome to come to the temple, be engaged in the services, to prepare for Krishna Janmashtami within our heart also. The Lord's appearance is not that, oh, okay, it's the appearance day, but the appearance day should also be in our heart, that the Lord completely manifest within our heart. Tomorrow, so that we can be completely absorbed in Krishna Prem by engaging in various services. So the festivity starts. You're all welcome. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead today. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma,
Padma Bindam.
Ugra Veeram,
Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukham.
Nrsimha,
Singhabhisharam Bhadram Bhaktam Namami.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samal Vaishnavas, Vancha Kalpataru
Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindhubhavecha
Patitanam
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavo Nama.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Premanande, Hari.
Hari Hari.
Thank you, Kalindi Mataji.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
everybody.
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol. Hare Krishna.